the teams that are rising and the teams that are falling. I feel like we gonna have majority of the same teams, but we got some
Yeah.
teams that have some falling and some rising.
For the fall, I only got I only got five for the fall. I got
I
the
got five too.
Warriors. I got the
Yeah, I got the
Warriors,
Warriors.
T Wolves. I got the Lakers, the Mavs,
Lakers
and
are
the
falling.
Suns.
How the Lakers
Yeah,
falling? How
I got
the Lakers
them
falling?
and the Suns. Well, first let me start with the Warriors. The Warriors, they are 4-13 in their last 17 games, bro. So in the last month and some change, they've only won 4 games. And I keep going back to my hot take. I said that these boys was not gonna make the playoffs. They don't look good, and they were overachieving to start the season off. And so far, I've been right. So they're falling. I got the T
Well,
Wolves.
technically you are not right because they're in the playing two with the Spurs. So
I mean,
technically
the
you're
the
not
the
right.
season's still
I
young.
know. No, it's not.
Um,
We can't say young anymore. We're basically a quarter in. Like
and then with the T Wolves, they have not been playing good basketball at all. They're barely scraping by to get these wins. They losing against teams that they're not supposed to lose to. I got them, and then the Lakers. The Lakers in December they are 7-6. They haven't been playing good basketball at all. That's why I say they're falling. They may still have a winning record right now, but the basketball they're playing loser basketball. If they keep this up, like they just went 76 in December. If they can't keep going 7-6 or barely winning one games throughout the month. You have to string together wins, and hopefully with Dorian Finney-Smith gone, I mean there now, and D'Lo gone, they can do that. Then the Mavs, of course, they're 8-5 on the month, but Luka getting hurt, they're obviously gonna fall. I don't think that they lost to the Trailblazers already. Like even though you have no Luca, your team's better. You're not supposed to lose to the Trailblazers. And then the Suns. The Suns are 4-9 in December. Um, even though Book was injured, Bill got injured, KD was injured, so injuries played a part in that. But as of right now, they haven't been looking good either.
hater. Uh, I did have the Warriors. I definitely had the Suns. Suns have been looking so bad. They're 2 games under 500. I don't care what anybody says. You are not supposed to lose to the Grizzlies with no job, and you're at home. They lost that
Hmm.
game. You're not supposed to lose that. They are definitely falling. The Kings, we know their situation. They're going through it. Got an interim head coach. Don't they're all over the place and they're not looking too good. They're 15 and 19 as of right now. The Mavs, yes, the Mavs, they lost three in a row, but yes, I agree with you. Luca is gonna be gone, and I don't know how it's gonna look in the next month or so with Kyrie as like the focal point, and then potentially PJ Washington being your second best or Klay Thompson. I don't know how that's gonna look, but they're 20 and 14, but they're most likely going to be falling. And I did have the Magic. The Magic are probably going to be falling too with no Franz and no Paulo. Yeah, you said Paulo is going to be gone for I mean, he's going to come back in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if that's true or not, but like I'm going with your word. If he's going to come back, it might not be enough. I think they'll still be in playing or at least 60, but they're most likely going to be falling. Now, for the teams rising, I did have the Pistons. I had the Pistons. They're rising up. I had the Pacers. I know they just lost that one game, but at that point, they were on a 5 game win streak, so they were on the rise. The Spurs are on the rise, too. They're rising up. Philly is actually on the rise because they've been playing good. They lost yesterday, but Joel Embiid didn't play. And Paul George actually had a good game. Shout out to him. And Hawks, they are on the rise. Those are my 5 teams that I have on the rise. I think the Pacers, um, they they've been playing better. Yes, they did lose that game against the Bucks, but I think Tyrese in that 5 game win streak was playing probably his best ball all year. Pascal was playing good ball. Ben Mathurin has been probably their best offensive scorer all year. Well, at least their most consistent offensive scorer all year. I feel like they've been playing really good. They were rising up 16-18, but yeah, Pistons Pistons been playing good. I know they lost that game against the Nuggets, but it's like it's the Nuggets. It's like okay, they're just better than you guys. So I don't take nothing in with that. And the Pistons have been playing really good, and yes, Jaden Ivey is out, so I don't know how that's gonna affect them, but I still think the Pistons are still going to be okay enough to make play in potentially. So I got them on the rise. Spurs. We know Wemby. Wemby has been amazing all year. Got them 17 and 16. Chris Paul addition has been great for them. Stephon Castle been good. Devin Vassell has come back. I got the Spurs rising. Philly. Since that big three has been healthy, they've been winning games. I know they lost last night, but you see when the big three is healthy, they're winning. And I think Joel is starting to play like consistent basketball. And as long as those three are there, they got a chance of winning. And the Hawks, like you said earlier in the pod, thought the Hawks were going to be probably mid or below, and Hawks been playing good. Shout out to Trae Young, shout out to Jalen Johnson. They've been good, so those teams are rising for me at least.
For the Rising, I got the Pistons, the Sixers. I got the Nuggets, the Rockets, and the Spurs. With the Pistons, this time last year, the Pistons were 3-29, and so far that now I think they're what 14-15 or something. Not 14-15. Yeah, they like 14-15 or 14-17 or something like that.
They're 15 and 18. That's their
15 and
record.
18. 15 and 18. So uh and then on top of that, they've been climbing the standings shortly throughout the season. They've been closing out close games. They still can do a better job at that because they still get a little turnover prone at the end of games. But yeah, I got them rising. They finally in the play in contention. I got the Sixers. The Sixers have been 9-3 in this month since Joel has been back and has been playing basketball and has been healthy on the court. They've been winning games. Um, the Nuggets, uh, the Nuggets. I got the Nuggets as risers. They started off kind of slow. But they are what seed are they right now? I think they're the fifth
They're
seed
the
or the sixth seed.
fourth. They're the fourth seed. They're
They're the
19 and
fourth
13.
seed. They're the fourth seed. So yeah, they've definitely climbed up the standings since the beginning of the year. So I got them as risers because I think at one point they were like sixth, like a week or two ago, and then now they jumped up to fourth. Um, the Rockets, I got the Rockets. Ime Doku has them boys playing. Defense is still one of the top defenses in the league. Um, I got them, and then the Spurs, like you said earlier, Wemby, and the Chris Paul effect. Slowly but surely, the Spurs they're coming out positive each month. Like the first month, they came out positive of the season, and then now this month they broke even. So as long as you're breaking even or you're winning winning more games throughout the month, you're gonna slowly climb the standings. So now the Spurs they went from not being in the play-ins at all to now they right there. They can make a playoff berth.
I got a question. Why are the Rockets risers if they've always kind of been like good like whole year? How are they risers if they've always been good?
Because they're showing that they can beat some of these top teams in the West. Let me go to their schedule. Rockets.
I just feel like if you're rising, you was kind of bad, but then you started to play good ball to be a riser. But I feel like if you was
I
always
mean,
good all year, how can you be a riser?
because your strength of schedule, like the Cavs' strength of schedule was butt at first, so they were just beating weak teams, and then we started to put weight on their name once they started beating these playoff teams, and now with the Rockets, it's like the
So why
Rockets
the Cavs
they're
should be
beat.
rising?
You said who?
The Cavs should be
No, the
risers for
Cavs
me.
can't be rise if they've been number one, number two all season.
And the Rockets can't be risers then anyway if they've always been in the top four, but majority of the year. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. It's not
But the
like they
Rockets,
were. It's not like the Rockets were like the 7th seed and then they rose to 3. They've always been like in the 3-4 range, basically majority of the year. That's what I'm asking. That's what I don't
I
get.
mean, with this month beating the Rockets, I mean not Rockets, the Thunder. You've beaten you had good games against the Warriors, even though the Warriors are butt now. You've beaten the Clippers. So they've got good quality wins this month.
But they were always
Um,
good though. So why? How can you become a riser if you're always good? That's what I'm asking.
I told you about the brand of basketball, how they are looking. They're beating good teams. They're playing
But
well against good
but
teams.
they were good. A riser is rising up. Like it's like rising up. They have always been good. I get what you're saying. They've just been playing. They've been beating better teams, but they've always been at the top. So I can't put them at a riser if you've always been at the top. A riser is like the Pistons, who probably were kind of in the bottom, but then they moved up to play in, and they've been consistently in playing and been moving up. That's a riser. The Hawks, who were who were in playing, and now they're like they were like at the bottom of playing and moved up to top of playing. That's a riser. I can't put a riser who's always been a riser. That's all I'm asking. That would make us put if we put Milwaukee should be a riser. We should put Milwaukee
Yeah,
in there because
they can go. They can go
Was
in
at
that
the
category.
bottom. Milwaukee was at the bottom, and then they rose up, and now they're the 5th seed. That's a riser. Can't put a riser who've always been good. Like who the Warriors? We got them as because remember the Warriors were like the number 1 seed for like a day or two. That's a motherfucker that's falling. That's a faller. But I feel like if you've always been bad, it's like I can't put you in. Like really though, that's why I didn't really put the Timberwolves in like falling because they've really been that good all year to fall. They've been mid. Like I can't put them there because they've always been there. That's why I didn't have them. I didn't even. Okay, when you hit the Timberwolves, I was like, damn, I didn't even think of the Timberwolves. Like they never even came up in my head. They never popped in my head. The Kings, yeah, they definitely falling. The Kings are falling. Suns. What can the Suns do to get better? Because they really can't do anything.
I think early on in the season they had success when they was playing Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn ain't really played that much since I think him, and then they got to figure out what they're gonna do with Nurkic. I don't think Nurkic is the answer at
Yeah.
center. I didn't like it. I didn't like him even when they traded for him. I didn't think they should let DeAndre Ayton go. But in order the Suns, they just gotta all be healthy. I think if all three are healthy, then they'll play some good basketball. They'll get back on track. But they all been out the lineup.
That was the same as last year.
Yeah, it's the same thing this year.
Devin Booker's taking more threes, something he doesn't do that much. He's more of a mid-range shooter, get to his spot. Now he's taking more threes. Low-key, Devin Booker is not to Devin Booker's status. He's not really having the best year.
I mean, but granted, he got good players on his team. So it's like I don't expect Book to be up there in the high 20s or 30.
It
And
was
you
like
got
that last
KD
year.
and Bill. And you
It
got
was back
KD
that
and
last
Bill
year.
on your team.
He had that last year though.
I mean, but did they win like that?
Never. Who said anything about winning? I just
That's what
said
I'm
Devin
saying.
Booker.
He
I
did it
said that.
last year. They
I
didn't
know,
win like that. So now let's try something different this year.
and they're not winning this year. So you're playing worse and still not winning, and that's what I'm saying. You're saying he's his points are low because he has Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, but last year he had the same people and he was
No,
giving you 27 points.
I think this year it's a more concerted effort to play team basketball. Especially now that you got Tyrus Jones on your team who moves the ball well. So I think it's more of a let me make the extra pass. Because last year they had him at point most of the time. Him and Bill, they had them at point. But this year, now that you got Tyrus Jones, it's like more ball movement, more team play.
But wouldn't that make him getting easier
I don't think
shots?
Nurkic is the answer though. I don't think
I don't
Nurkic
think
is the
so
answer.
either. I don't think so either.
I think Plumlee would be a better fit only because
He
Plumlee
ain't the
is
greatest fit either. He ain't the greatest either.
I think he'll be better than Nurkic. Nurkic is slow. He has trouble running up and down the court. Mason Plumlee can pass, he can rebound, and he can defend. He's more athletic. I think that'll play better to their strength than Nurkic.
I'd rather have neither. I'd rather have neither, if we're being honest. Like you said earlier, DeAndre Ayton, he should have stayed, but that wasn't his decision. Him and Monty had beef. and they chose Coach over DeAndre Ayton because I feel like if they didn't have beef and Monty he didn't bench him in that game 7 against the Mavericks, he probably is still there, and I think he brings way more than what Nurkic and Plumlee do. Like if you want to say Plumlee is a better fit, that's fine, but he's no better. He ain't making life easier for them. They still don't have a legit good big. So yeah, I'd rather have DeAndre Ayton. Valanciunas, because I heard the reports. They said that they're looking for a big, and it's kind of if I'm Nurkic, I feel disrespected. It's like y'all looking for a big, but I'm still here. It's like wow, that's crazy. But the only other big they could possibly get maybe like a Nick Richards, Walker Kessler, Valanciunas, Robert Williams. Like those are the bigs that's on the market.
I like Robert Williams for them. I like Robert Williams for them.
I like it. The only
He just
problem
got to
is
stay
he's just
healthy.
injury prone, but I like it. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with like Robert Williams on the Suns. I have no problem with that at all. All right.